Right, so this evening I'm doing hundreds of deities of the joyful land according to Highest Yoga Tantra. And I've paused at this point, to do Lamrim meditation. And tonight, it's precious human life again. So here we go. Actually, I'll read out the prescript, which is the area above the dotted line. So that's recommended you read that before you do the preparatory practices, such as 100 deities practice I showed you. After the dotted line, that's a contemplation during Lamrim. So this just gives you some context. Determination to take the essence of this precious human life. 10 endowments. The first 5 are personal endowments, and the second 5 are endowments of this world, of our world. The purpose of understanding The purpose of understanding the preciousness of our human life is to encourage ourselves to take the real meaning of our human life and not to waste it in meaningless activities. Our human life is very precious and meaningful, but only if we use it to attain permanent liberation and the supreme happiness of enlightenment. We should encourage ourselves to accomplish the real meaning of human life through understanding and contemplating the following explanation. Right. So if you ever, so that's what the pre-part is for, giving you the context of the purpose of why you do the meditation, what it does for you. Then you do the preparatory practices. You could do heart jewel or prayers for meditation. Now we can start the contemplation proper. Many people believe that material development is the real meaning of human life, but we can see that no matter how much material development there is in the world, it never reduces human suffering and problems. Instead, it often causes human suffering and problems to increase. Therefore, it is not the real meaning of human life. We should know that at present we have reached the human world for just a brief moment from our former lives, and we have the opportunity to attain the supreme happiness of enlightenment through practicing Dharma. This is our extraordinary good fortune. When we attain enlightenment, we shall have fulfilled our own wishes, and we can fulfill the wishes of all other living beings. We shall have liberated ourselves permanently from the sufferings of this life and countless future lives. And we can directly benefit each and every living being every day. The attainment of enlightenment is therefore the real meaning of human life. So what can we achieve in this human life that can be everlasting benefit? We could have a good job, we could have great relationships, great hobbies, a nice big house paid off. When we die, we leave it all behind. What is it that we take with us into our next life? Yeah, we could say we take virtuous tendencies into our future lives. So that's very important. But what can we really say is going to be of everlasting benefit, guaranteed? How do we know that we're not going to lose it all by committing negative actions and taking a lower rebirth? or taking an unfortunate human rebirth. Other than enlightenment, it's not clear what is of everlasting benefit. This is why the attainment of enlightenment is therefore the real meaning of human life. Enlightenment is the inner light of wisdom that is permanently free from all mistaken appearance, and whose function is to bestow mental peace upon each and every living being every day. Right now, we have obtained a precious human rebirth and have the opportunity to attain enlightenment through Dharma practice. So if we waste this precious opportunity in meaningless activities, there is no greater loss and no greater foolishness. This is because in the future such an opportunity will be extremely hard to find. In one sutra, Buddha illustrates this by giving the following analogy. He asks his disciples, "Suppose there exists a vast and deep ocean the size of this world, and on its surface there floated a golden yoke. And at the bottom of the ocean there lived a blind turtle, who surfaced once in every 100 years. How often would that turtle raise its head through the middle of the yoke?" Ananda answers that, indeed, it would be extremely rare. What does meeting Buddha Dharma mean? It means entering into Buddhism by sincerely seeking refuge in Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, and thus having the opportunity to enter and make progress on the path to enlightenment. If we do not meet Buddha Dharma, we have no opportunity to do this, and therefore we have no opportunity to accomplish the pure and everlasting happiness of enlightenment, the real meaning of human life. The first 5 personal endowments. 1. Being born human is like buying a car. 2. Being born and remaining in a country where Dharma is flourishing is like getting the car on the road. 3. Being born and remaining with complete powers, free from mental and physical disabilities, is like having petrol in the car. 4. Not having committed any of the 5 actions of immediate retribution is like having a license to drive. You can read more about that in Joyful Path of Good Fortune. 5. Having faith in the 3 sets of Buddha's teachings, like having the confidence to drive. With these 5 endowments we can reach enlightenment, which is the proper destination of this precious human life. The remaining 5 endowments are favourable characteristics of the world in which we take our human rebirth. If Buddha had not appeared in this world and turned the wheel of Dharma, and if pure Dharma had not remained in this world, it would have been impossible for us to receive Dharma instructions and to put them into practice. If we are to practice Dharma purely and correctly, we need the help of a spiritual guide and spiritual friends, and we need the help and support of benefactors and sponsors. One, if Buddha had not appeared in this world and turned the wheel of Dharma. And 2, if pure Dharma had not remained in this world. 3, it would have been impossible for us to receive Dharma instructions and put them into practice. If we are to practice Dharma purely and correctly, we need 4, the help of a spiritual guide and spiritual friends, and 5, we need the help and support of benefactors and sponsors. Therefore, all of these freedoms and endowments are necessary if our spiritual practice is to succeed. We should realize how fortunate we are to have been born as a human into such a world. In conclusion, we should think, at present, I have briefly reached the human world and have the opportunity to attain permanent liberation from suffering and the supreme happiness of enlightenment through putting Dharma into practice. If I waste this precious opportunity in meaningless activities, there is no greater loss and no greater foolishness. So again, many of these endowments, to have all 10 endowments is quite rare. It's rare to be born human. It's rare to be born in a country where Dharma is flourishing. These days, mental and physical disabilities are more and more common. To not have too much negative karma on our mental continuum. Many people are depressed because of the negative karma that they are carrying in the mind. And having faith in the 3 sets of Buddha's teachings, this is rare in this degenerate age. So we can contemplate that analogy of getting a car on the road with a license, with petrol, and having the confidence to drive. It's like having these 5 personal endowments. And again, the 5 endowments that are favourable characteristics of the world in which we are born. We have been born in a time when Buddha's doctrine has remained. And the pure Dharma has remained in this world. We can have access to a spiritual guide and spiritual friends. We can gain access to help and support from benefactors and sponsors. This is a rare opportunity that must not be wasted. Again, in conclusion, we should think, at present, I have briefly reached the human world and have the opportunity to attain permanent liberation from suffering and the supreme happiness of enlightenment through putting Dharma into practice. If I waste this precious opportunity in meaningless activities, there is no greater loss and no greater foolishness. With this thought, we make the strong determination to practice the Dharma of Buddha's teachings on renunciation, universal compassion, and the profound view of emptiness now, while we have the opportunity. We then meditate on this determination again and again. That just means you can use this meditation and a meditation Lamrim cycle, one of our choosing, we can hold the object of meditation. But if we get distracted and lose that object of meditation, we need to bring it back to mind. So quickly recalling the contemplation and the conclusion. Maybe we'll still have the feeling from the contemplating the 10 endowments. Then we just maybe just need to read the conclusion again and hold that object again.